All right, we're here for take two, and we got some time to make up, so we're gonna go real fast. I'm SunnymuffinSR, running Path of Exile 2. With me today.
Hello, I'm Xoneris. I don't speedrun this game, but I play this game a lot.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and hop right in. This is a new character. We're going from completely blank. For Path of Exile, you always can come in and set your settings. The timer will start on the first movement, so I'll go ahead and count it down. In 3, 2, 1, go!
Woo!
All right. Cool. So we are starting off here. We're the witch character. You can run any of the characters through Act 1. I just find the witch to be the most fun because you get some pretty cool skill combos that you get to use in just a little bit into the run. Yeah, but we're just going to have to make our way through zones. So Path of Exile is a ARPG, so action role-playing game. And we need to find some gear here real quick. So first thing we do is we're going to be moving throughout the riverbank here, going to the first boss here in just a second. So we have a bunch of these chests here that we have to grab. I missed a chest, so we're going to go back and grab that. Yeah, we're just gonna send it. It's fine. Cool. So we pick up our first skill gem here. Your skills, they get slotted into this little menu here. It's one of the big changes between Path of Exile 1 and Path of Exile 2 is they completely revamped the gem system, which is like one of my favorite things that they did for Path of Exile 2, because when in Path of Exile 1, you had a lot of, like, we called it socket pressure, and it made the game just a little bit less enjoyable from a speedrunning standpoint. Cool, but we're moving on to the first boss here. Path of Exile 2 has like a little bit more Dark Souls style bosses, where like you have like your dodge roll here. This guy, you have your different. Ooh, okay. Yeah, it looks a little bit different than on my computer at home, but we're gonna get used to it. It's fine. Yeah,
I mean, just don't get hit.
Just don't get hit. That's the key for Path of Exile. Just in general. Yeah, so do you know what Unearth does, Xoneris? Do you want to explain that?
I actually am not sure what Unearth does exactly.
Okay, cool. So
I'm not a minion guy.
These little scorpions are my Unearth, and when we kill the boss's ads that he summons, they drop corpses, and I can use those corpses with Unearth to create these little scorpion friends here that will help me defeat this boss. But yeah, he has quite a chonky HP pool. We don't really have anything at this point. We just have my wand. I missed the scepter, so we're doing it without it, which is fine.
We're just sending it. Yeah.
Yeah, not a big deal. But yeah, we're just growing our little minion army here, and they're gonna take out the boss for me here shortly.
And there we go.
Cool. So level 2, we pick up some gear here. 2 pairs of boots, which is great.
Surely we got some movement speed.
Movement speed.
Oh, let's go.
Blessed run. Cool. Yeah.
That's crazy good, right?
Yeah. That's really good RNG. So yeah, all of the gear in this game is randomized. So sorry, we gotta do some stuff here. Cool. So we get our first skill gem here. We're gonna be grabbing Frost Bomb out of the Elementalist start. Frost Bomb is just a really good skill, and we'll be using it basically throughout the entire campaign here. But yeah, movement speed. Why is movement speed good?
Well, movement speed is obviously good because you walk faster, and in a speed run, going faster is obviously the preferred choice of transportation. And the movement speed, they have like 10%, right?
Yeah, that's all you can get this early.
Yeah, 10% doesn't sound like a lot, but because this is like a temporary effect now, it will add up throughout the run. And if he finds boots that are even better with like 15%, not sure if that can happen in Act 1, that would obviously be awesome.
Yeah, no 15% in Act 1.
Okay. So, but yeah, we already got a huge time saver in like super early on.
Oh, that was my my item filter. So do you want to explain how item filters work?
Okay, so since this is an ARPG, like Sunny said, the goal of the game is to kill a lot of monsters and get a lot of loot. And Path of Exile, the first game, is a bit notorious of having a bit too much loot. So much so that if you don't use any item filters, it will clutter your entire screen with mostly useless crap. So they made a thing that you can have item filters where you can configure the game to display items or like not display items. And this is kind of a big thing in PoE. You can also by now modify sound effects. You can configure the visuals. So yeah, if you ever see people play Path of Exile and they have some really wonky sound effects sometimes, then it's probably just their item filter noticing them that they dropped a specific item that to like notify the player, hey, you dropped this thing somewhere. Go find it.
Yeah, customize my item filter for things that are just useful in general for Act 1. It is completely, like, the filter itself is garbage, but it is good for... Nope, it died. All right. Cool. So that's actually a good segue. So Path of Exile 2 has checkpoints. So when you die, you have to respawn everything completely. But yeah, this boss is actually probably one of the harder ones because she just like is pretty relentless in her attack patterns. But yeah, and some of the stuff is like pretty difficult to dodge, and you can just get stun locked. Like again, we don't have anything. I'm level 2.
Yeah, maybe worth mentioning, this boss right here is not like a mandatory boss, but we didn't really say this, but we're doing Act 1 all permanent upgrades. And this includes this boss, because defeating this boss will give us a permanent upgrade, which, you know, is part of this category.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'd probably not be killing this boss right now. You would get some better gear and come back later and then defeat her. But I'm assuming right now it's faster to do it just right now.
Yeah, cool. So there she's dead. We get the head of the Winter Wolf, and yellow items are really important because they give me money. Like that item is like completely useless as a witch. I'm not going to be beating things with the club, but I need it to sell so I can eventually buy some better gear. One of the things that we are targeting is actually movement speed boots, which I already got, so that's really handy. And then we're going to be targeting a weapon that has high spell damage or plus to skills. Cool. So we are into the Grellwood here. Path of Exile is a procedurally generated game, so all of these maps are random, but they're like pseudo-random. Like you can figure out patterns in which the zone was generated. So this zone has 4 points of interest that we need to find, and they're usually just laid out into a square. So we found the first one here. This is the Witch's Hut. This is going to get me medium, life flask, and mana flask. So like really right now, at this point in the run, I don't really have too much. And for Act 1, all of your like life recovery is coming from flasks. So you see down here on the bottom left, I have 2 flasks that I'm going to be using consistently throughout the run, just anytime you take damage. They do empty over time, so we got to be a little bit careful with our flask usage, just to make sure that we don't run out when we need it. Yeah, so we're moving kind of in a square pattern here. So we have the Witch's Hut down here. We have the tree up here. There should be 2 more points of interest over here. We found one right here. This is going to be the entrance to the Grim Tangle. And then I need to find the Red Veil, which is going to be our next zone that we'll end up doing.
Yeah, while you're doing that, we can probably let our host in for a moment, right?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, time for a quick donation. We have received 20 euros from DJ Hedgehog. Big shout outs to the tech crew for saving the day. Oh, and by the way, did you try turning it on and off again? Question mark. Yeah, we tried multiple times, but tech's wonderful. So yeah.
To quote the audio guy, he said like, yeah, we did that 5 times.
All right, so we've moved into the Red Veil now. This is really the first area where I'm going to be killing a lot of monsters. It's just they're really good experience here, and the density is really nice. So we can kill a lot of monsters pretty quickly, and we need to get a couple of levels here. This zone really hasn't been figured out completely, so I don't know exactly where I'm going. There is 3 spawn points for the Pillars of Rust, and I need to find them. So we have one right here.
These are these things here, right?
Yeah, and this is my quest right now. I need to complete the. I need to find all 3 of these pillars and get the like rumen girdle or whatever the heck it is. But yeah, so here we see the power of like a dense layout, on which you get the spell Contagion. So everybody's turning purple right there, and that's spreading my damage over time to all of the enemies. Whenever you kill an enemy, it spreads to the enemies around it. This is going to be really important when we wind up getting Essence Drain.
Oh, let's go.
So we're going to be doing an ED Contagion build through Act 1. If that means nothing to you, that's completely fine. But we're basically, it's a really efficient clearing because when monsters die, they're dying all the time. We then get to just spread our our damage over time onto all of them, and it clears screens very, very effectively.
Yeah, Essence Rain and Contagion are just two spells that have like nice synergies with each other, and they have been kind of a thing since Path of Exile 1. Bit of a fan favorite.
Oh yeah.
Even though both of them in both games they're currently not super strong.
Yeah, it's not very good, but
for early game it's good, I heard, but like late game it's like kind of bad.
Yeah, we're just
what I heard.
We're just leveling up here, getting some more damage. Your base stats do go up as you level up, so it's important to get a couple of those. I'm trying to kill as many of these enemies as I can, just to as efficiently as I can to get those level ups. Because we're going to be able to, we need levels to equip new skills. We need it to get new gear. We need it for just basically everything. Oh. So that was a pack that
that was a bit...
That was scary, but it's okay. So at this point in the game, you don't lose any experience when you die. Monsters do respawn, and I had already like kind of scouted that entire part of the zone, so going to the checkpoint isn't really the worst thing here.
I feel like in the speedrun, sometimes dying is actually sort of helpful.
Yeah, there are a couple of death skips that you do in Path of Exile. Yeah, it's just part of the game. And really, we're playing with nothing, so we are trying to we're really just pushing the limits of what your character can do at this point.
But we have movement speed boots, so that's awesome.
MS boots are always very important.
The only thing you ever need.
There should be a pillar down here, and then there's going to be one more up here, if I'm reading this zone correctly. So a lot of these zones have, we call them reads. When you go in and you like see, okay, this is where I'm at. This is where that stuff is likely to spawn. We'll see if I'm right here, and I'll feel really silly if I'm not. Oh, there's one. Okay, cool. So, and all of these have checkpoints around them. There is an audio tell as well for this, where you get to, like, you'll hear the pillar. And it sounds weird, but it is what it is. And
I actually didn't even know that.
Yeah, it's really wild. So, like, Path of Exile 2 is a little bit different in how it generates these layouts. So they're completely based off of your character class and league. So for solo self-found witch, you have one set of layouts. For hardcore witch, you have another set of layouts. A lot of times they're just like mirrored, like so it's not like completely unique. You'll see some of the same patterns, but it makes running the game like really fresh whenever you're playing on a different character. Cool. So there's our second one, and we're going to be heading up to the Rust King, who's going to be at the third of these obelisks. Cool. Now we're getting a ton of XP in this zone. Like the density is really nice because then when one enemy dies, my damage over time spreads, and we get to collect a lot of XP.
Yeah, for all the people who are watching who are not Path of Exile players, as soon as you get a level up, you might quickly want to give them the culture shock of the skill tree.
Oh yeah. There's our skill tree.
Yeah, that's just casual skill tree of the game. Don't worry about it. It looks super complicated, but it's actually not that complicated.
Yeah, it's not too bad. A lot of it looks weird, but depending on where your character starts, you have like your intellect region of the tree, you have your strength wheel of the tree, and then you have your dexterity part. So as a witch, we're in like the intelligence zone because we're a spellcaster.
Yeah, so anything crazy about this boss that we need to know?
No, he can one-shot me like quite a bit. So we gotta do some good dodge rolling here. We're doing our Dark Souls cosplay.
I mean, the checkpoint is right next to it, so I mean, obviously you lose time if you die, but if he does the thing, then it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, we have not found a damage weapon yet, so damage is like really, really low at this point. So this guy just does take forever. Luckily, he does spawn some ads that we'll be able to turn into our little scorpions.
Yeah, while you're fighting this boss, we can read a quick donation, right?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, we have 10 euros from Droid saying, "It is written that feeling your text help resolve the issues. But I'm too lazy to do it myself, so here, have a donation instead." Thank you for that 10 euro donation. That goes to the donation bit Kineo Co-op Run. Beat Secret Stage, and it's closing in on our 6K goal of for that super secret bonus game that everyone knows from Big John. So we need only 290 euros to met that goal. So yeah, keep those donations in. Back to you, Sunny.
All right. Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Haven't died yet. That's pretty good.
You knock on wood right now. All right, we got one more ad cycle here. Trying not to die.
Yeah. Yeah. Starting to look a bit dicey. Gonna let him focus.
Right,
there we go.
Cool. And we're rewarded with some loot.
Yeah, so how the flasks work in this game, or like, you obviously have your red orb there, which is your health, and when you take too much damage, you can use your red flask, which is right next to it, to like fill up your health, right? But
Yeah.
that obviously only has a limited charges. It's like Dark Souls with your Estus flask, so you have a limited amount of how much you can heal up again, and this also is kind of how it works in this boss, or like in this game. You can only take so much damage before things are not great.
So +1 spell, that's really good. I can't use it yet, but that'll be my weapon moving forward. We're looking at some of these items that we just dropped to see if they're usable. Like I'm gonna keep those. Those are good. Yeah, so we will sell all of the extra gear that we have. We need to swap out our flasks because I'm now level 4, so I can use the bigger flasks. Annoyingly, that they don't autofill, so you have to use the little well here to fill up your flasks. But yeah, we just completed that quest, and Renly is going to give us our tools so we can progress the story.
Yeah, you went there to kill all like the Rust King or whatever, and he drops some metal things, and then Renly makes them because there's some runes or something inside of them.
There's a story in this game, but I don't know it. A little bit of speed tech here. When you put your spike into the tree, you can do a dodge roll to cancel the animation.
Huh. Insane time saver.
Oh yeah, we're saving all the time. Cool. So then we go back to Clearfell, speak to Una, and then we're going to be heading down into the Grim Tangle.
The womb of the Grim Tangle.
Yeah, you mentioned like selling items. Like how important is like money in this speedrun?
Your eye.
Money is pretty important. Like it's a lot of where your randomness is. So we got some pretty good drops at the start of the run. We have some good money, but this is pretty good because it has increased spell damage. So my damage is now just like 30% better.
That's pretty good.
So yeah, heading back to the Grellwood, we need to move over to the Grim Tangle, and then we can just keep on keeping on, making our way through the story.
That is pretty cool, but kind of convoluted.
Yeah, it is convoluted.
As it is in Path of Exile fashion, you need a bit to fully appreciate the story that it's trying to tell you.
There's no story. What are you talking about? I just don't pay attention to it. We have a little bit of time save here. We're going to talk to Una. So she's going to town portal into this area. We talk to her, and then we go ahead and reload from checkpoint. And that's going to stop her yapping because she has to sing, and it lowers the branches, but now they're already automatically lowered for us.
Damn.
So a little bit of speed tech.
Yeah.
See if we die immediately here. These wolves are like actually terrifying. They do so much damage at this level, and they're really they're fast. They're hard to hit with your skills. There we go. Okay, cool. Yeah, so Grim Tangle. This zone is basically a triangle. So it looks like we have to head down and right. Nope. Okay. So it has like a bunch of different layouts that are kind of difficult to read. And like you're looking at this mini map here, and it just looks like a maze. And so I'm trying to figure out.
I have no idea where I would go right now.
Cool. So we're just really, this zone is one of the deadliest. A lot of these guys.
Clearly.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah. There we go.
That was a death. Yeah, this zone is like really difficult to make your way through. There's a lot of damage over time, so like these little yellow pools just absolutely like chunk down your health pool. I have not gotten a single life roll on any of my gear, so I'm at base life for the level. We are very, very squishy.
I mean, the fact that there's like narrow corridors everywhere probably also doesn't really help.
Yeah, it is absolutely terrifying.
Because you unfortunately can't run through enemies, so if they body block you, you have to like try to wiggle yourself around them or dodge roll around them somehow, or just kill them, I guess.
Yeah, sometimes just kill them is the solution. The best defense is a good offense, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just making our way through this zone. We're looking. There is a mini boss in this zone. I don't want to fight him. He does drop like a gem, but it's not a permanent upgrade, so we don't technically have to get it. So here's the boss. Sometimes the exit is on the other side of the boss room, but I think that in this layout, the boss room is actually just bait, and I shouldn't be going that direction. But we'll find out.
That's the perfect example of what I just meant with body blocking.
Oh yeah, it's so annoying in this zone.
Oh, damn.
That was a good frost bomb. Ugh, there's just so much stuff in the way.
How satisfied are you currently with your gear?
Oh, it's pretty. It's actually not bad. The movement speed boots help a lot. I did hit that checkpoint, so we're just coming right back down here. It might have just been faster to reload from
Yeah, I was just about
there.
to say, right? Because if you die, all the monsters like respawn, or like the area kind of resets with the monsters. So,
Yeah. So
if there's one area that is annoying, you just reset it and it might be better.
Yes, that boss room was bait. Sometimes you do have to go like through the boss room and sneak around them to get to the Cemetery of the Eternals here. But that was not one of them, so we made a good read. Cool. So we're in Cemetery of the Eternals. We need to find 2 tombs here. Their location is like 100% random. They can be basically anywhere in this zone. So one strategy that I do is I go as far left as I can. If I don't see one, I'm going to go ahead and reload a checkpoint. And then I'm going to go the other direction. Because usually they're like, one is pretty close usually to the waypoint. But we'll see. We'll see here because it is very, very random. I do need a little bit more XP here.
I mean, there's lots of things on screen.
Yeah, we're gonna work our way through it because we need to get level 6 and Contagion. What would be really helpful is if you get an intelligence roll on one of your early pieces of gear, you can get it. You get it at level 5. So I'm just waiting right now to get one more level. The monsters in this zone aren't really very good XP, especially if you keep dying to them.
Yeah, dying is very not helpful for gaining XP.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
Yeah, like so that first zone, the Red Veil that we did a bunch of killing in, that one had really good density. This zone has really bad density. But I do need some XP, so we are gonna kill some monsters here. So I can eventually get this Essence Drain here.
And then we can pop off with the combo.
Yeah. Once you have the combo, you just clear screen after screen after screen. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's almost like Essence Drain Contagion is a beloved combo for a reason.
No, we're getting body blocked again.
Oh god. Oh, come on.
There we go.
Oh.
Okay. Cool. So let's see if this gives me any stats. Oh, in.
There we go. That's int.
Cool. Now we just need the level, and we're good to go. So yeah, intelligence is important because this is a spellcaster build. If I was doing this on a ranger, you'd want dexterity.
Yeah, there's like 3 main stats in this game: strength, dexterity, and intelligence. And yeah, those are the only 3 stats.
Yep, only 3 stats. Sure.
I mean, of like that kind of. There's no like constitution or wisdom or something like that.
Yeah. Other important thing is like resistance. So this is not where I need to go. Yeah, we're just looking for these 2 crypts, and again, they can be anywhere in here. I'm betting they're like right in the middle, and it's going to be the last thing that we find. But that's okay. I had a good read with the last zone, so I'm due for a bad one. All right, we got our level.
There we go.
And we get our Essence Drain.
Oh, so the game pauses when you select the gem?
Yeah, when you select the gem, it pauses. It's very like inconsistent. Like some things it pauses on, some things it doesn't. But yeah, now we're gonna see the why Essence Drain Contagion is so good. So Essence Drain is just a damage over time, and I mentioned that the Contagion spreads my damage over times. So by doing both skills in tandem, it just creates a really big damage over time on all of the enemies in the area.
Oh, what is that?
So that's a feathered robe. I already have a good robe, so I'm just going to completely ignore it. and then I already have a shield. So if we get an extra skill gem, there's an option to get shield charge, and shield charge is just one of like the only movement skills in Path of Exile 2. Po 1 is much more generous when it comes to those movement skills. But yeah, so we can get shield charge and start charging around the screen.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how like differently paced Path of Exile 1 and 2 are. Like Path of Exile 1 is the crazy zoomer, go super fast, blow up screens kind of game, and Path of Exile 2 is more of the chill, clear one pack after each other, go fairly slow kind of game.
Yeah. And I find the speedrun a little bit more fun for Path of Exile 2, just because it is a little bit slower paced right there. So yeah, it's going to be the last place we check. We found the Mausoleum of the Praetor. We need to go find the other one that I don't remember the name of off the top of my head.
I think his name was Draven.
Yeah, Draven.
But I don't remember her name.
Where the heck is it? What are we?
Yeah, what the heck?
What did we miss? Did we miss critical information? Did I only spawn one? What?
Well, I guess it has to be... Oh, maybe, yeah. Probably not in the middle here, right?
It could be in the middle. So... Yeah, it's just weird not seeing anything. Alright, we're just gonna full clear this zone. Not a big deal.
Well, yeah.
Is it up here?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay. Has to be up there.
Wow.
Oh, we got an augment. Yeah, currency in this game. Go ahead and yap about currency for a little bit.
Sure. So, one thing that separates Path of Exile from a lot of other games is its currency system, because in this game, there is gold in this game, but it's not as useful as you think, because there's a lot of other cool currency items. There's like wisdom scrolls and orbs of augmentation and transmutation and or like chaos orbs and all these different orbs. Like, I'm not going to explain what every single one does, but like they're kind of a currency that you can trade with NPCs to buy certain things, but you can also use them for crafting. So it's a very cool like thing where it is a currency, but it's also a crafting material at the same time. So it's kind of up to the player if they want to hoard the currency item and use it to buy things, or if they want to use it to craft things, which is like a very cool dynamic, which makes Path of Exile pretty unique, I'd say. I'm not sure how it is in the speedrun if you're looking for any specific kind of orbs here.
You basically just chuck them on gear. So like I got an Exalted Orb, and I'm just going to throw it on this this chest here. We'll add to it. It's pretty okay.
What did it add? I didn't see.
It added lightning resist.
Yeah, that's pretty okay, I guess.
Let me through. Let me through.
Guys, come on. Let the man through. We gotta be. You've got places to be.
There we go. Okay, got through.
And got a level up.
And got
Nice.
a level up. Cool. So this zone, we're looking for the boss. She usually spawns basically like as far away from the starting tile as possible. She can either spawn there, or she can spawn, it could be like a big square zone, and she'll spawn in the middle. But it looks like this layout is going to be one where it is just really far away from the starting tile. Yeah, we can go this way. Okay, cool. Yeah, Essence Drain Contagion, very, very good. Like once this guy dies, it just spreads it all. And, it's so satisfying.
It's so satisfying, yeah, I love it.
It feels very good to press those buttons in sequence.
Yeah, one of my favorite characters in Path of Exile 1 was a Essence Drain Contagion character. Just bam, bam. Especially if you increase like the area of effect of Contagion, you can spread your disease even more across the screen, and it's so good.
All right, so playing a little bit safer, with the boss areas up here. Yeah, we're gonna head into
There's a checkpoint here.
Yeah, we're gonna head into a boss fight. Again, we're just progressing the story. What's her? I don't know
both
her
of
name.
these bosses here are mandatory to kill, otherwise we cannot progress the story.
Asinia, that's her name.
Yeah, a very rememberable name.
Yeah, she is the easier of the two that we're about to
Rolls
fight.
off the tongue.
So we're fighting her first, and then we'll go fight Draven. Draven's pretty deadly, so we want to take our time and do him last, so we're at a higher level. Yeah, I don't even like. She has like a couple of moves that can kill me. Like this one can kill me if I don't get out of the little bone bone prison thing that she casts on you.
It's a bit of, I feel like a beginner player trap because it's kind of hard to see that you can just walk out of it if you're at the correct spot.
That move can kill me. Yeah, we're doing our damage right now. So we have our Frost Bomb, which applies exposure. So you see, like right under the boss's HP, there's that minus 20%. That's 20% exposure, so she's just taking simply 20% more damage. The Frost Bomb itself also does pretty good damage, but at this point in the game, it's not a ton. But yeah, that was a good drop. So if I was a ranger, I'd be really happy with the Iron Ring, but it's okay. So usually this early on, you don't have a bunch of stuff in your jewelry slots, so I can get some stats from that basically for free. We used checkpoint there to teleport, so you can teleport between checkpoints. This zone, I'm looking for the middle tile. So it's like a big open like atrium style tile, and the boss is usually in a direct line between that tile and like if you just draw a line, you'll see if we find the tile. But usually it's just like a diagonal down to find Draven.
I'm assuming one thing that is very nice for the speedrun is that if you just leave Essence Drain Contagion somewhere in the background, you can like get XP without actively fighting anybody because the damage over time just kills hacks.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, likely I can see there. Like,
yeah. Here's our boss tile, so you can see the edge of it right there. So we're just making our way around to go fight Draven here.
Mr. Draven.
See if we have any gear we need to put on. Full damage. Yeah. Cold res. That's really good. The final boss that we're going to be fighting in Act 1 does a lot of cold damage. So cold res is like up there with one of the more important stats that I could possibly get. Same thing with Po 1. Like the first boss of Po 1 also does cold damage, and you're just hoping for like a Sapphire Ring drop.
True, yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So Draven is much more dangerous than Asenia. You can get like just stun locked by his normal attack patterns there. And Asenia also comes in and does her little like area denial void zone thing. So we just need to play it really pretty carefully here. What would also be nice is if I get a focus, I can get more spell damage on that. So he's enraged right now, and he does like he's a little bit faster. He does the triple pattern with the Bone Spear style skill.
Yeah, so the focus is basically
stunned and done.
Stunned and done.
Yeah.
That's how it goes sometimes.
You hate to see it. We're gonna put our +1 spell wand on. That should be a little bit more damage.
And more damage, always good.
Yeah, unfortunately, Po 2, they made it so you can't just dual wield wands, and you could double up on your spell power.
Oh, really? You can't do that?
No.
I actually didn't know that.
No, you could do a wand and a scepter. You can't do 2 wands.
Huh.
Kind of lame, but it's okay.
Well, I guess that's why focuses were made. They're like shields for mages, kinda.
So yeah, just trying my best to dodge as much damage as possible. My damage is actually pretty good, so I'm pretty happy about that.
Hey, your damage is good, but your survivability is a bit lacking because because you haven't found any life on your gear so far. So you're basically at the lowest amount of health you can be. But I mean, yeah, like you said earlier. This game is about you dealing with the hand that you are dealt, and sometimes you have good stats in one department and bad in the other one, and then in the next run it's exactly the opposite. And you just try your best with what you have.
We get a scepter, bow. Yeah, we're just going to throw a transmute on this, see what we get. A little bit of strength is actually really good. So now you need strength if I wind up dropping another skill gem, because then I can get shield charge. Yeah, we're done with that area. Now we're gonna go do another boss. It's just like a boss rush at this point. We're doing do the 2 tombs, then we head to the boss.
Yeah, fun fact, coming up the next boss here is the first enemy I died to when I first played this game.
Yeah, he was like probably the first brick wall that I also hit.
Yeah, this is definitely... up until this point, the game is kind of fairly easy if you just take your time. But then this guy comes along and this actually kind of difficult in my opinion.
Yeah, I did another yap skip there too. He talks a lot, so we reload from checkpoint there, and yeah. So dodging all of his attacks. He does some like spirit stuff. When he does his stomp, you bait it into the little pillar here, and it makes it so it doesn't leave the trail of cold. So ailments in this game are basically just a damage multiplier for the enemy. Well, you can apply ailments too, but if I walk through the chilled zone here, I get like I think it's a 20% chill, so I take 20% more damage. We're trying to limit that as much as possible.
Yeah, so I guess a bit of cold resistance in this fight also kind of helpful.
Yeah, yeah. All right, we didn't bait that one properly.
There we go.
It's okay.
That's pretty solid.
Yeah, easy boss fight. My damage is really good right now.
Now we just need some more survivability, and we are so good. We also...
yeah, so we pick up his ring, and then we just drop it. That's all you need for the completion of that quest.
Interesting.
Yeah, and now we're moving on to the hunting grounds. This is the next zone that's like really good for XP.
Yeah, there's a lot of mobs here, a lot of enemies.
Yeah, and we're getting some... Oh, whoops. Getting some chaos damage, because that is the main damage type that we are doing. Yeah, and we have there are 3 points of interest in this zone that we need to find. So we're looking for the Crow Bell, we're looking for the entrance to Faithorn, and the exit to the Oakham Fields.
Yeah, we're looking for 2 map transitions to other areas and just like 1 mini boss. And are you looking for the ritual as well?
No, I don't do the ritual.
Okay.
So the ritual does drop a level 4 skill gem, but at this point I don't have enough intellect to wear anything.
Yeah, too dumb for new skills.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Because we're going fast, we're not smart enough. We're here for speed, not for smartness.
Yep. So the problem with ED Contagion is these little dudes, they actually die too fast for me to hit them with the Essence Drain, and then hit them with a Contagion. There's the Druidic Ritual. I could do that. That gives me a support gem, but I don't need it. But yeah, so the little guys, they die before I can hit the Contagion on them. So you have to like pick your target prioritization on somebody that has a little bit more HP. So we're gonna hop into the farmlands here, hit the waypoint, and then go back to the hunting ground. That way I just have this waypoint for a little bit later when we actually do decide to go through here.
Yeah, for you that wasn't fully like obvious yet, but waypoints, you can just teleport between them. So sometimes going into the next area and just quickly activating the waypoint, so you can just use it later. Like, it's very convenient.
I got a bunch of enemies here.
Yeah, this is what Sunny was talking about. There's obviously a lot of enemies here, and this is good XP right here.
Yeah, it's hard to get the combo onto. There we go. And then, because you have to hit it on one enemy, and when they're just like swarming you like that, it's really, really difficult. I think it was a helmet. No, another belt. So I already have a belt. I'm not gonna pick that up. Yeah, a lot of it is just like picking and choosing. Like, I only have so much movement, and I'd rather use my movement to progress toward the next objective rather than go back to pick up that item. So it's just not. You have to just have a lot of knowledge of what you're doing, where your character's at, and that's what makes this a lot of fun. Cool. Here's the Crow Bell.
Another little optional mini boss that just gives you one of the permanent upgrades that we're doing here for the speedrun.
Yeah, and he gives you a book of skill. That's really nice to get earlier, because then you get a little bit more character power. This boss, he's like a 3-phase fight, so I am already leading him toward where he starts his second phase, so he doesn't. He gets there a little bit quicker. You can damage him during the phase transition, but he doesn't take as much damage.
Yeah, so normally you get a skill point whenever you level up, or for quests like these where the game just gives you like 2 skill points. And the skill points are obviously good. If you saw the skill tree earlier, the more points, the better.
Yeah, everything just gives you a really tangible increase in character power. Yeah, moving on to his phase 3. This guy, he hits really, really hard with physical damage, which I can't really mitigate as a witch at this point, so it's really just don't get hit.
So there are basically 5 damage types in this game. Physical damage, fire, lightning, cold damage, and then there's chaos damage. Your character has resistances for 4 of these damage types: fire resistance, cold resistance, lightning resistance, and chaos resistance. But for physical damage, you don't have like a specific resistance for that. That's where armor would come in. But like, why? Like, witch is not archetypically like wearing a lot of armor. Not that Path of Exile is the game that cares about archetypes really, because you can kind of be whatever you want to be.
Yeah, it's very, very customizable. Like your character, even though I am starting in the spell damage area of the tree, you can go any direction that you want.
Yeah, one thing I really appreciate about Path of Exile 1 and 2 is that you can play any skill on any character, and the skill tree is the exact same for every character. You just have some slightly different starting positions, so there's a lot of creativity for creating cool characters and builds, if you can manage that, because it's kind of complicated of making a good character.
Yeah, in Poe 2, they're actually the witch nodes are a little bit different, like the starting area.
Like, what do you mean?
Like it's not the exact same skill tree. For Poe 2, in Poe 1 it is. So yeah, they definitely made some really good changes, and then some changes that the community does not agree with. But it's still a lot of fun. Like I love the direction that they're going in. I think it feels really good to play, which is the most important thing for any RPG.
Absolutely. I had a blast playing this for the first time when it came out in December.
Cool. So here's the Freythorn. This zone is very, very deadly. Like you get introduced to chaos damage here, and like at this point you just have nothing to do against chaos damage. But I need to find 3 rituals and a boss ritual. So you want to explain what a ritual is?
Yeah, sure. So ritual is like a specific kind of mechanic in this game. Obviously, it would be boring if the only thing you just do is kill monsters and grab loot. So what they did is they introduced a few mechanics in this game where you still kill monsters, but you do that in like a bit of a different way. You have to like keep something in mind. And the ritual is like one mechanic that gets introduced here in the first act. And basically what happens in a ritual is you have a circle, and in the circle there's a bunch of enemies, and at that point you just kill them normally, like there's no big deal. But after you kill these monsters in the circle, you can activate the ritual, and then you are locked into the circle. Yeah, this is the circle I'm talking about. You can see it here, like the white line on the ground, that's the circle. So Sunny's gonna kill all the monsters in here, and then you can click the shrine in the middle, and that like activates the ritual encounter, which then respawns all of the enemies, and you are actually forced in here. So right now, Sunny cannot leave the ritual until he either dies or until he kills all the enemies. And to get the boss of this area, he needs to successfully complete all of the rituals here. Yeah, and rituals can become quite a bit of a mess if you kill a lot of enemies inside of it, because because of the fact that you're locked in. All of the monsters are basically right in your face, and you have to be very careful so that they don't just like surround you and insta-gib you. So it's actually a bit difficult, but you know, that's why Essence Drain Contagion is pretty good. If there's a lot of enemies that are grouped up closely together, you can kill them very fast.
Yeah, so I already found the boss area. It was that checkpoint a little bit further down here. I can't activate the boss one yet, so we have to find the other 2 rituals. This zone is just really a pain. Oh, glitch through the floor. All right.
Yeah, just go out of bounds and walk to the rituals.
It makes it really easy. Yeah, so these 3 rituals can spawn literally anywhere in this zone. I've seen layouts where they're all 3 like right next to each other, and I have seen layouts where they're completely spread out. So really, it's just trying to efficiently go through this entire zone and find the 3. So.
Yeah, a bit luck-based, as Sunny just said. Don't know where exactly they are, so Just gotta run around and find them, and sometimes you find them instantly, and sometimes you have to full clear the map to just find them. And also what Sunny mentioned earlier, chaos damage is a bit of a special kind of damage type. It's quite rare, especially like monsters don't really do that much chaos damage, but also you as a player, chaos resistance is a bit more rare than like any other resistance. So if an enemy does chaos damage, that's generally not really great for you.
Yeah, especially at this point in the run, like you have no way to mitigate it.
Right, so while Sunny is looking for these other two rituals, or this one and the other one, I'll let our host in for a few messages.
Yeah, thank you so much. We are raising money for Mind, which is a nationwide organization committed to prevent mental health issues. Mind strives to provide support to individuals and families facing mental health challenges. All of your donations will go to Mind. And well, that said, we are pushing that 6K donation, because Big John will then play his bonus game. So yeah, please get your donations in to get that 6K going. We only need like 290 euros, so yeah, keep those donations in.
Yeah, absolutely do that.
Cool. Last ritual done, and now we're gonna go ahead and checkpoint over to the boss.
Yeah, please make sure that we get to see Big John later with a bonus game. That'd be very cool. So
Yeah, you definitely want to see it.
yeah.
Is where the darkness is hiding.
So for the boss fight, you also do a ritual first, and if you do it successfully, the boss will spawn inside of this ritual. And honestly, I think this boss is also kind of hard once you, until you kind of figure out how all of his mechanics work.
Yeah, he is a port over from a Po 1 boss, so if you played Po 1, you're at an advantage with him. He has a couple of skills that you have to watch out for. So his big slam right there. He also has two phases. So his big slam you want to avoid. When he spawns these totems, you want to kill them immediately. He'll also do a stop, like a red light, green light type thing, type move. So I'm looking at my debuffs. So I have the green light. I have to keep moving. It's a purple light in this, but that's the concept.
Yeah, also the huge red thing on the floor also should be avoided to not walk into it or through it.
Yeah, a lot of area denial. He spawns like little mosquito clouds. He just does so much stuff.
Yeah, I was stuck on this boss for quite a while as well during my first playthrough right here.
I just got slammed. Okay. Thankfully, I have enough HP that it doesn't one-shot me. But we're moving on to phase 2 here. Phase 2 is basically the same as phase 1, except his slam, it now moves and it does chaos damage. But I actually find it a little bit easier to dodge. So there's red light. I need to stop. So that's his slam, and it now does chaos damage. I got frozen because I didn't stop enough. I had to dodge attacks.
I didn't stop enough.
Yeah, he was attacking me. I had to keep going.
Yeah, this boss can be like, if he chains his attacks in a specific way, it's hard to avoid damage sometimes.
There's the pillar. Okay, yeah, that pillar was dealing a ton of damage to me too. Red light. But yeah, you have to avoid it for like 5 seconds. You have to stand completely still, which is really difficult to do when he's also attacking you. But it's doing okay so far. Not a big deal.
I definitely have seen a bunch of like clips of just people streaming this game where they were very unhappy in this boss fight, where they were raging a bit, because like at first glance it's a bit hard to figure out sometimes what exactly does damage to you.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate death.
You're just running away from something and your health just randomly goes down and you die, and that happens like 10 times, and yeah, I'd be very angry too, to be honest.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
random essence.
yeah, we're not gonna click that. That'll kill me. Yeah. So what happened with that boss is I left one of the totems up, and so it was just pulsing damage the entire time. Sometimes it's really difficult to see what's going on in this game. That's like one of the top critiques of Path of Exile is like the visual clarity is not the greatest.
I mean, sometimes it's also a bit the player fault by playing skills that clutter the screen with a lot of stuff, but I mean, it shouldn't be the player's fault.
Yeah, that's
should-
okay.
Skills should be designed in a way that you have like visual clarity of what's going on. But you know, sometimes it's hard when you have complete freedom over your character's build. Sometimes you just find some combinations that just causes a lot of screen clutter.
Or you make a build that crashes servers.
Yeah, that has never happened before.
No. The juices builds, yeah, those are fun.
Yeah, shout out to literally all the PoE players. Every single one of you. If you play this game, this shout out goes to you.
We can also shout out our partners.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, sure, go.
Check out more on-site speedrunning events from our partners. NSG Spring 2025 in Gjerdum, Norway on April 11th till 13th. And UKSG Green 2025 in Glasgow, Scotland on May 22nd till 25th of May. If you're looking for more speedrunning content, please go check them out. And also, we are also currently raising money for mine, just like I said like a couple of minutes ago. And we are currently almost having that 6K goal. And you know what that means. It's right down the screen, the bonus game. Super Mario Land 2X by Big John. Only 288 euros remaining. So please, people, push that. Keep on donating so we can see Big John in action.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're out of flasks and a bit low on life, so let's go. Not even
That's
hard.
the second boss that I did that on.
First try.
Yeah, first try.
Darkness.
Oh
Cool.
yeah, I forgot the most important part about ritual. Like, why would you even do that? So, whenever you kill the enemies inside of a ritual, you build up like some kind of currency, and at the end, if you successfully completed all of them, you get like a little window where you can use that currency you built up by killing all the monsters to buy a bunch of stuff. And sometimes it's really helpful, and sometimes it's just a bunch of trash, as it goes in an ARPG.
Yeah.
In a loot-based game, sometimes you get the things you need and you want, and sometimes you get literally the opposite.
Oh, that's pretty good. Okay, cool. So we finished that quest. This is like the most... It's a very important quest to do because you get the Summon Raging Spirits. I'm actually going to take the Ruby Charm because I have some good frost resistance.
It's in my... I've collected these over time. What do you think?
Movement speed and fire res. All right. Okay, cool. Our gear is much improved now. So we got our charm
We still have room for a amulet and for a second ring.
and a
if we
focus.
find-
I'm looking for... Okay, no focus.
Oh yeah, focus. Which is still like a shield for a mage, basically.
Cool. Yeah, gear is significantly improved. I'm feeling a little bit better about it. The Faith Thorn is like one of the harder zones, and now we're just kind of going now. We have one more quest we have to do. We have to get the loot. So we are in the farmlands here, and we're looking for a specific tile, so it'll tell me where the loot is going to be.
So the King in the Mist that we just defeated earlier is also one of these optional bosses that just gives us one of the permanent upgrades. We are not, like, you're not forced to kill him to progress through the game, but yeah. Speedrun restrictions that we're doing. I kind of forget, what does he exactly give you again? Oh, he gives you Spirit, right?
Spirit, yeah. So Spirit in this game is used to equip auras. And I got my first aura, which is that Summon Raging Spirits. We got a support gem here too. Oh my gosh. We have some pretty good options here. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and use that uncut spirit gem here in just a second. Right now I'm trying to get over to here, because that is where the loot is. But there's a ton of enemies in the way, so we're just gonna let my Essence Drain clear them out. Skill gem level 4, that's a little bit helpful. I can use that to upgrade one of my skills. We're going to be upgrading Essence Drain here with Swift Affliction. You want to explain how support gems work?
Yeah, sure. So there are two types of gems in this game, like active skills and support gems. Active skills are like what they say, they're your active abilities. You press them and you do some kind of skill, like Essence Drain and Contagion and Frostbomb and all these cool abilities that Sunny has been doing so far. And support gems are exactly what they say. They are a gem that just provides some kind of effect to a active skill. There's so many different support gems in this game, even way more in Path of Exile 1. Sometimes they are something very simple as like do more damage or like attack faster or like inflict some kind of ailment, and sometimes they can have some really more specific effects that on first glance seem kind of useless, but then you find some kind of cool interaction with maybe some skill that can like use that support gem in a specific way, and you find like a cool combo. And like I said earlier, this game is for all the creative people who want to have like a lot of different toys they can like combine and like figure out some cool, neat little interactions that might not be known yet, which is very possible. Surely this happens like all the time, that somebody comes out with some kind of combination of like item and skill and like, yo, this is a very neat combination. Suddenly we do like 400 times the damage by using this gem with this item, and it's like everybody's like, whoa, how has nobody thought of this before?
Yeah, ours is not that fancy. It
Yeah,
just
unfortunately, Swift
Yeah.
Affliction is just like more damage over time or something.
yeah, it just did more damage over time, which is what Essence Drain is doing.
Yeah, which is good for us. Like sometimes you just need more damage. Like sometimes that's good enough.
You always need more damage. There's never enough. This layout is actually super weird. Usually, like I would venture to say, like 90% of the time, this zone is oriented in like a northeast to southwest orientation, but we're getting the weird one where you have to go all the way down this way. So it's a little bit strange. That's okay.
Yeah, there's also an interesting restriction that they put into Path of Exile 1 compared to Path of Exile 2. In 2, that doesn't exist in 1 with the support gems, that each support gem can only be equipped like once on your character to anywhere. Like in the first game, you can have multiple skills that are supported by the similar support gem. For example, here, the Swift Affliction, which does more damage over time. In Path of Exile 1, if you have a bunch of skills that do damage over time, you could give all Swift Affliction. But here in Path of Exile 2, you're only allowed to give support gems to one single skill, which limits the choices a bit, but it also increases, like, it kind of forces people to be a bit more creative, because if you just put all of your increased damage things on the same thing, then what do you do with the other things? So you have to be a bit mindful of which support gem you put on which skills if you use multiple things.
Yeah, for sure. And it kind of was like the illusion of choice is why they made the change. Like, there were just clear-cut, these are the best skill gems to use for this skill, you can't use anything else. Like, so that's why the devs made a lot of weird decisions, but they all like had really good intention.
Yeah, when the game wasn't fully out yet, but there was a lot of like information dropping about this game. There were a lot of decisions that on first glance weren't really super popular with the community. But then based on like interviews and such, they explained a bit about their thought process on why they made certain decisions. And then a lot of the community came a bit more like lenient. I was like, oh, okay, I see. Yeah, okay, this actually makes more sense to me.
Cool. Executioner, next boss. He, again, just has really heavy physical damage. I'm trying to do a little trick here where we can bait him over to the right-hand side. Reason we want to do that is otherwise he just spawns like a ton of ads, which, while they're not like, I can kill the ads, not a big deal. It wastes time. So we're trying to pull him over here. We also have our Summon Raging Spirits now. Do you remember what that one does, Xoneris?
I mean, is it the same as in PoE 1?
A little bit different.
I mean, you basically see it on screen. You just summon a bunch of these like floaty burning skulls, and they're kind of just minions that like go towards enemies and attack them. And yeah, what's the difference? What,
so
am I not knowing?
they're an aura now.
Yeah, but like...
So they spawn out of my firewalls. Each firewall spawns 5 of them. I could have 10 at any given time. My goal is to keep them up. I want to keep 10 up as much as possible.
Yeah, because it's just a huge DPS increase, I'm assuming, if you just have 10 out all the time.
So here's all those ads that would have spawned during the fight.
Holy, that's a lot of dudes.
Yep. But they don't know how to use stairs. So it's okay.
Okay, I've never said I've not seen that before. That's funny.
Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and
They're
do.
just chilling down there, like man, stairs.
Oh, there comes one. All right.
Oh,
Cool.
one made it.
Cool. So we used our support gem. You always get a support gem off that boss to get Last Grasp on my Summon Raging Spirits. It just makes them live a little bit longer. After they've dealt, like when they die, they just live a little bit longer. So if they get hit by a lot of attacks, it'll just have them stick around a little bit longer. So I don't have to be as on top of it with keeping 10 out.
Yeah, we're also sort of slowly making our way to the boss of this first act. There's like 2 more areas, like the outside of this castle and then the inside of the castle, and the boss will be somewhere inside the castle. I mean, it's not going to be like 2 minutes, but we're closing in on the end of the first act here.
Yeah, and XP is looking pretty good right now, so I want to get 1 more level up before I hit the final boss. That'll give me the next little keystone skill there, and it gives me like 30% more spell power, I believe. Very, very good to have. Yeah, banner. This layout is pretty simple. It basically always makes just a U shape. So wherever we started from, we go around and make a U, and then we're just going to head up straight up here, and we should find the stairs to enter the manor, which is the scariest zone in this run. Basically, everything is one-shotting me at this point, because my gear is good, but it's not like... I don't have that much defense. I'm still only at about 240 life. I think casually when I got here, I was at almost 400. So still very underpowered, underleveled, just trying to go as fast as possible.
Yeah, this is obviously a game that is not really meant to be played really fast. You're kind of, take your time, find some good gear, and take it slow. But obviously that doesn't stop people from trying to challenge themselves by going fast and just figuring out how to do things with unoptimal gear.
Yeah, so we have 1 more permanent upgrade we have to get. So there's a boss called Candlemas on in this area. So we're gonna go try to find him and then get his permanent upgrade, and that'll be the last one for Act 1, and then we head straight to the boss. If these monsters weren't in the way. It's a champion pack. Okay, yeah, it just has a lot of HP. So I'm trying to make my way up here because we're looking for a certain tile. We're looking for a bridge, and I'm not seeing it over here. It might be a little bit down. No, okay. So we have to come up here. It's going to be, the bridge tile is going to be here, and then Candlemas will be on the other side of the bridge.
Yeah, like inside the manor, this is like a multi-layer area where you just get separated by some stairs where you're going like here. We want to go all the way down there in the background, so we have to go like down 2 times or 3 times, and at the very bottom of this like area is the final boss of this area. It's
really cool foreshadowing though, like you get to see the boss that you're going to be fighting.
Yeah, that's actually very, very true, yeah. So since this area is like separated into multiple like levels of height, is the boss, the optional boss, always in like the same level, or does it vary?
Yeah, it's always on floor 1. Usually it's after the bridge, but there is a layout where it is before the bridge. Yeah, and I think we might have got that, so he might just be down here. Yeah, looking for... Ooh, that's actually really good. That's your amulet.
Ooh.
Really good, because I could just slam it with this and get some more stats. Nothing really that useful.
Bit of strength.
Yeah, I'm betting we got that layout. The weird one. So if we see stairs over here... Oh, no. Where is he? Okay, cool. So we found stairs. This is fine. I just need to go back up now to the top and go find Candlemas.
Yeah, you can also teleport between checkpoints, which actually wasn't a thing when this game first came out in December. This is something a lot of people complained about. Like, we have these checkpoints, why can't we just teleport from one checkpoint to the other? Like with the waypoints. And yeah, they listened to the feedback and made that change happen. So shoutouts to Grinding Gear Games for just listening to what the players want.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
doing that.
Cool. Yeah, so Candlemas is going to be up here, I think. Yeah, this is just a really strange layout. Like 90% of the time, it's the other layout, but that's fine. It's not completely unheard of. And I already have the checkpoint for stairs to go down to level 2, so we can just... Not a big deal to come back here and go grab it. Yeah, there he is.
Yeah, there we go. Checkpoint, and we have this little church area. And yeah, he's just sitting here as like a statue that comes to life, and then we kill him. Definitely a visually very cool design boss, I'd say.
Yep, and he's really not that strong of a boss. Like,
yeah, his attacks are telegraphed pretty well. It's pretty hard to dodge his attacks, I'd say. Definitely one of the more easier bosses in this game.
Yeah, you'll see, like, they took a lot of stuff from, like, the Souls-like games where you have, like, your stagger bar. So we're about to hit his stagger bar here. Oh.
Whoa.
Okay, that is the one attack he can kill me with. Usually, it doesn't hit behind him, but it definitely did there. Not a big deal. We'll run back over here.
First ones.
Unlucky, as the kids would say.
That was very Yeah, you can see that last right support on my Raging Spirits here. They go to 0 health after he hits them, and then they stick around for a little bit. So it just helps you keep your damage up.
Yeah, like how much of a DPS increase are these Raging Spirits, you'd say? Like, is it massive or is it minor?
It's pretty big. They're doing probably like 50% of my damage.
Okay.
But again, you'd have to cast them, so it is like a cost-benefit thing.
Yeah, it's a bit of downtime to casting them, but once they're up, they're doing... Yeah, there we go.
The initial part of Essence Drain doesn't really do too much damage. I'm actually going to pick that up. We're going to swap that in for the boss.
Ooh, clever, clever.
Picked up a couple regal orbs there. Where's my checkpoint? Over here. Okay. Cool. Yeah, so we picked up a couple regal orbs. If I had any white gear, I could use, or blue gear, which we're going to go and just spam them on. Well, I try not to die. Ooh, life.
Ooh.
No, we're dead. We're like 3 feet from the checkpoint, though. Life regen. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Here's looking good, but as you see, like the monsters still just do a ton of damage at this point in the game.
Also, something that you saw Sunny pick up like after the boss right there was a charm. Charms is something we haven't explained yet, really. For example, right to the right of the mana flask, yeah, right there is a charm. And this is something that is exclusive to Path of Exile 2. These things don't exist in Path of Exile 1. And basically what they do is they have a certain trigger condition, and if you get hit by this specific trigger condition, they trigger and they do their effect. So for example, the basic ones are if you get hit by fire damage, you temporarily get a bunch of fire resistance for a certain amount of time, or the same thing with like cold damage. If you get hit by cold damage, you get a buffer of extra cold resistance for a moment, and they like charge up, just as your flasks. They will run out at some point. They can't just trigger indefinitely. They just use a resource, and if you're out, that's unlucky. And yeah, you just kill more enemies, and it will refill again. So it's like a sort of a passive effect that you just have, but obviously it needs to be filled up. And yeah, it's going to be useful at the boss. Like he said, he will switch it out because the charm he picked up is specifically for cold damage and cold resistance. And as we said earlier, the boss of this area, right down there, you can kind of see him, but not really, because it's not what you think. He does a lot of cold damage. And yeah, going down this elevator, we are now at the final boss of Act 1, so... Let's see if he gets his first try here.
Yeah, this boss was like incredibly difficult for
Yeah.
when I played through this game casually. Like, it's just on another level of anything that you've done up to this point. But it's like a really cool design boss, and I think they did a really, really good job in designing some of these.
So yeah, it's this guy with the sword. What's his name again? Count
Gnor.
Ginor?
I always call him Count Greg.
Count Greg?
He just looks like a Greg.
Yeah, he definitely behaves like a Greg. Yeah, he has a big sword. He does a bunch of sword attacks, and
Turns into a wolf.
he also turns into a wolf because obviously that's what you do if you're Greg. And yeah, he just has a bunch of attacks, and Sunny will obviously just knows all his attacks and tries his best to not get hit too much,
Yeah,
while also doing a lot of damage.
getting hit is not the end of the world. Like the biggest issue with getting hit is you have to use your flash charges, and you only get so many of them. All right, so we have triggered his phase 2. Any damage I do at this point doesn't really do anything, so we're just going to kind of run around. Yeah, he's just yelling, talking, and eventually he's going to turn into phase 2.
Any second now.
Yeah. There he goes.
Yeah,
Cool.
now he goes full werewolf mode, or like dog, whatever he kind of is. And as you can see, his health bar is back to full. And yeah, based on the very light blue coloring, you can kind of figure out that he's doing a lot of like cold damage now.
Yeah, so the goal for this fight is to get him before I get 2 ad phases. So he does, like, he's doing like his like expose right here, where he just like sits here talking and screaming
he's-
poetry at you while he does his ad phase.
Yeah, he's hiding in the mist, attacks occasionally while he spawns in all his like goons here.
Yeah, thankfully, Essence Drain Contagion just takes care of them real easy.
Yeah. As you're demonstrating very successfully here. There we go. And now, yeah. Ooh.
No, that didn't hit me. I thought it was going to.
Yeah, that looked a bit sus there.
This is the scariest attack because it does cold damage and it
Yeah.
can freeze you, and then you just get chained.
Yeah, like this.
I got hit by the last one, so that's not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, getting frozen is basically the same thing as getting stunned. You can't do anything for a certain period of time, which is very dangerous, obviously.
Every time he says decimation, I always think it's the Exarch. Oh no.
Oh,
Yeah, that was sketchy.
yeah, also the area effect of these like lasers that come down, I feel like they're way bigger than it looks like. But that might just be a me problem.
Yeah, it's definitely deceptive, the hitbox for him.
Alright, we're still having some good charges left on the health flask. We're looking pretty good here.
Yep. When he goes into... So when he is at low health, he's going to start doing bleed damage with his attacks. And that's when it gets really scary. So we're just trying to keep up my health flasks. Thankfully, it does have an ad phase, so your flasks fill when you kill enemies. So killing enemies is very helpful. Makes it so you don't die.
Here we see his rays from the sky have turned red. This is where the bleed damage comes in if you get hit.
Cool. We're coming up on time
Yeah,
if I don't die.
Coming up on time. Not exactly sure when time is.
There we go. Time.
Is this time? Okay,
Yep.
time. Yeah. There we go.
All right. Cool. We'll keep
Yeah,
it quick
sick.
because I know we had all those tech issues coming in. But yeah,
Yeah, but
that's
I mean, we went
was-
a bit under.
yeah, a little bit under. But
Not
yeah.
that I would know how that works.
Yeah, just quick shout outs. Like if you want to play Path of Exile, amazing
It's
game.
free.
Shout outs to Xoneris for being
you.
awesome on commentary. Shout out to my pandas back home. I know y'all are watching. I love y'all. I miss ya. Thanks for letting me come to the Netherlands so I could speedrun. But yeah, that was Path of Exile too. I'm going to be running Evergate tomorrow morning at
Yeah.
like 9 a.m. So yeah, if you aren't tired of me yet and you want to watch another speedrun, come watch that. Make sure to donate, and yeah, we'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, this game is free. Download it.
Yeah, it's free.
great. Same as with Path of Exile 1. Both are free. Play them. They're great.
Cool.
Anyway,
And with
yeah.
that, back to you.
Thank you so much for that awesome run. Path of Exile 2 by SunnymuffinSR. Amazing run. Thank you so much. Do stick around because we have a lethal company up next. 3 employees, glitchless, with Trash, Lemi, and Leon. So yeah, that's gonna be an awesome run. So be sure to stick around. This is also the end of my hosting shift. I will be signing off, and Zelda is taking over. Maybe we'll see each other again on annual, but I'm going to stick around on the venue until the end of day. So yeah, be sure to look around and say hi. Bye.
Hi. Bye.
Bye-bye.